Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a busy few days here since we last spoke. I believe last time I talked to you guys, I had to run out and grab some sheathing, some plywood, things like that to put on the front part of the roof here. Well, it's been a few days that I've been jumping on things, trying to get some things done, and we've made a lot of progress. So let me just spin you around here and take a look at how things are sitting right now. So I have the sheathing over the parts that I had framed out earlier, and I also have framed up my little my little bump out of a roof there. So that's what we're going to continue to work on today. We're going to get some more of this zip sheathing up on the that center section there. We're going to do that. We're going to put up the underlayment, get that all nailed down, and really get that thing ready for metal. It's at that point then I'm going to use some more. I've got some 3/4 CDX plywood here on the bottom. I've got to cut out some arches, and that is going to go up above the front door. So I'm going to have like a little arch thing in there, and we'll see that as it takes place. So just a little bit of change since you guys last saw, but it has been rather productive. The upper framing in that upper section up there, not difficult. Some complex miters, you know, 2 angles on 1 cut type thing, but yeah, nothing really crazy. I would say the hardest part about that whole section of what you've last seen was really getting up. It took almost a full sheet of that 5/8 OSB zip sheathing to cover one section, plus a little add-on. So each sheet is about 75 pounds or so, and it was windy that day, and you know, it's just like a big sail trying to hold that up there, and you know, it got up there. So let's just say that. Yeah, so let's get to work. All right, guys, first things first here. Before I get the sheathing up on that little hip section of the roof, I need to cut out 6 arches. There's going to be 4 that are the same, and then 2 additional ones that will be the same. So I'm going to cut the first one out here and use it as a template. And I'm using a full-size sheet here. This is a 4x8 sheet of 3/4 inch CDX plywood. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, gang, just finished out getting these arches built here. So I had 4 of this one here in the front and 2 of that one there in the back. Everything went just fine. So now we got to position these. They go up in here, okay, because there's going to be an arch that's going to be over the door, just kind of up in there. I'm going to have to get these up there and get some of the 2x4s. I'm going to line it with 2x4s, rough sawn 2x4s. So we'll see that as it starts to develop here. But issue now is to get these mounted. They go up in pairs, and I'm creating basically 3 ribs with that, and that's what the 2x4 is kind of attached to. You'll see it once we get going, but yeah, well, let's get to it. So I took 2 of these, the 2, they've got to be mated together. So I took and screwed them together so I'm not having to deal with this at, 4 separate times. So these are actually connected, and we'll get it up here level, and we'll put it up against the ridge board that's here. We'll go from there. So I just have my torpedo level on this side that I'm looking at, just leveling it up off of the top. And I have a center line marked on this arch as well. That's what I use to line it up, center it on the ridge beam itself. Now this last set, instead of being tied to this rafter here, this actually gets nailed to the side of the cabin. Okay, now that I have these kind of ribs set up in here, I now run through that. I'll have to cut a bunch of 2x4s, and they're gonna line this, and they'll create a nice little arch. I think you'll like it when it's done, but I think right now in the plans, what it's calling for is to put sheathing over this part of the roof here. So let's get to it. All right, guys, just finished taping up the seams here on this, it looks like a dormer from up here. I don't know if there's a better word for it or not, but this little entryway, and everything went fine. I had to actually run out and get more zip tape, which is a little later in the afternoon. You can kind of see out here, it is super smoky right now. They're controlled burn on the North Carolina-Tennessee border right now, and this is 2nd or 3rd day in a row that it's like this, and you can really smell it too. It's something else. But anyway, finished with this here. Now it's time to move on to that little arch piece that I've been talking about for 3 days now. All right, gang, my drawings show that I need about 20 of these 2x4s They're all about I'm cutting them all 45 inches long, and it's got to extend 1 inch above the dormer rafter that's up there. So that's what I'm doing. So I got my cut station set up now. My length is all set, so we're ready to go. All right, that should do it. Let's start getting them up there. Well, gang, there you have it. A little behind the scenes activity there to get those last two on each one down. I just had to kind of shave it off a little bit, but that's the arch that I've been talking about for 3 days there. So it looks good. Adds definitely a little, it's definitely different than cabin 1 and 3. It adds a little bit of character to it and everything. And everything really kind of lined up nice, and really happy with it. No complaints on this whatsoever. So it does take quite a bit of trim work up in that area there on both sides of it to kind of, you know, close it in and whatnot. But we'll get to it. We'll figure it out. So it's just past 5 o'clock. I have, well, Rebecca brought me down a little adult beverage, so I'm gonna start working on that a little bit. I got quite a bit of cleanup to do. Lots of offcuts and lots of wood I need to get over to the burn pile, and you know, before I head up the hill for the night. So yeah, but driving nails for the day is done. So I guess we'll see you tomorrow.